Hello there, beautiful people, and welcome back to another edition of Paint Fanfare. I'm Emmy. So today I'm going to talk to you about the show Supernatural. It's one of my favorite shows in the whole world. It was something that I was introduced to by my ex-husband a long time ago. Back, I think, when only maybe 6 or 7 seasons were out. And now there's, 14, 15? There's a lot. But just to let you know, there will be no spoilers for this episode. I want to keep it spoiler free because there's a lot to parse through, and I just think it's one of those shows that you have to experience yourself, and I'm just gonna leave it at that. This show started all the way back in 2005, so if you start out with the first season, just be aware that it's gonna be a little dated, but watching through it myself, it's actually not that bad. I think it holds up pretty well. But even though it's had a long running, it's actually one of those shows that I think I could watch forever. It starts out as kind of a monster of the week kind of thing. We have Jared Padalecki, who plays Sam Winchester, and Jensen Ackles, who plays Dean Winchester. They're two brothers that are on a wayward journey, and I fucking love them. Oh my god, I love them. Their characters play off of each other really well because where Dean is kind of more of the hard ass, he's a little bit more your manly man type of dude, and Sam is that softer type of person who's more understanding, more sweet. But they play together really well because throughout the seasons they sort of swap roles every now and again, where you're kind of surprised how closed-minded Sam is and how open Dean is, and vice versa. I'd say the first 5 seasons have a plot that is tied together really well, and some people think that the show should have ended there. I disagree. This is one of those shows that while it has lasted a long time, I think it has stayed pretty creative and pretty relevant. There are some pretty standout episodes after the first 5 seasons, and the overall story, I think, just continues to get better and better, and it really expands the world that they're living in. You get all sorts of characters that come and go. Unfortunately, a lot of deaths, but you'll get that with a drama. But there's always some kind of character development going on that makes you really happy. Or at least it does for me. Like I said, it starts off as kind of a monster of the week sort of show. Very procedural. But as it goes, I feel like it just continues to build off of itself. And oh my god, do I love those two brothers. But the painting I'm doing here is of Dean Winchester. I had started out with the idea of doing both of them, but as I was setting up the picture, I really, really liked the way that it looked with just Dean kind of off center, and I love Dean. I think of the two characters, he's the one I relate to more, plus he just sexy as hell. God, his eyes. So if you're looking for something a little bit different from your typical TV show, I think this is definitely something to get started on. They're working on the last season, I believe. I'm not all caught up with everything, so I'm still, I think, 2 seasons behind. But the ones that I've watched, I adore. It's pretty easy to get swept up in some of the messes they get themselves into. And there are certain times when watching the show where you're like, I'm not really sure how they're gonna get out of this one. But they always find a way. And it's this constant battle between good and evil, and what is good and what is evil, and pointing out the gray areas. That's something that I really like because I've never felt that the world is black and white. And even though this is just a TV show, it still sort of supports my theory. There are some stellar bad guys that come into this show too. Oh my goodness. Like, if you really want to hate a bad guy, I recommend watching this show. Yep, there's definitely several that are gonna make you a little bit hot under the collar. And I absolutely adore Mark Shepard. His character in this show, once you get to it, his name is Crowley, and he's one of those characters that you kind of hate to love, but he grows on you. Oh my god, he does. Jim Beaver, who plays Bobby Singer, fantastic character, consistently. And Mark Pellegrino as Lucifer, child, don't get me started. Like I said, no spoilers, so you'll just have to kind of watch and find out for yourself. There's a lot of really cool people that come in as kind of your side characters, a lot of really neat cameos. I love Jeffrey Dean Morgan as their father. He is such a mixture of Sam and Dean that, it just watch it. Just watch it and you'll see. Overall, some really lovable characters, some really hateful characters, fantastic plots. If you like kind of fantasy horror, you're gonna love this show. If you watch the first season of this show and you don't like it, move on. The first season ends really nicely, and I think it's very indicative of the way that the show is gonna go. I've cried so many tears watching this show, and even rewatching it, I still cry because I feel such a connection to these characters and seeing some of the shit they go through. Not to mention that the actors look like a lot of fun in real life. There's like a little blooper at the end of one of the episodes where, and this is not a spoiler, Dean is in the Impala and the song Eye of the Tiger comes on and he starts like singing the words and he like climbs on top of the car and he's acting super goofy, and just seeing that come out of that actor reminds you that these people are real people. Like this actor is a real person and he's got a real heart, and I don't know, I'd love to hang out with him. Hashtag Jensen Ackles, come hang out with me. It's a show that I can watch over and over, so that's definitely in its favor. Overall, I'd say I'd give it about 4 paintbrushes. Okay, so let's talk about this painting just a little bit. Let me start off by saying I was a little tiny bit frustrated with this one. It started out and continued to not look anything like what I wanted it to look like. Of course, I had a reference of Dean right in front of me, and it seemed like at any given time, it was nothing like the picture. Of course, I don't want it to be exactly like the reference, but I definitely felt like it was hard to capture his face. If I look at different parts of the painting, like his eyes or his nose or his mouth, just in those individual parts, it looks like Jensen Ackles, but as a whole, I felt like it didn't really turn out looking very much like him. In comparison to previous realistic type looking paintings that I've tried to do, although stylized, this one definitely turned out a lot more cartoon-like, which is okay. I understand, it's just a different style. It just didn't turn out exactly how I wanted it to. I'm learning as an artist to let those things go. It doesn't have to be perfect to be art, so I'm getting over it. Slowly. Very, very slowly. But I'm learning to accept my style for what it is, which has taken about 20 years to do. And although I'm striving to learn new things all the time when it comes to art, I need to learn to look at what I'm able to do right now and be proud of myself. Sometimes that's easier said than done. Okay, most times that's easier said than done. But I'm learning. I'm getting there very slowly, but I'm getting there. Even though it's more cartoony, I did end up liking this picture a lot. And I wanted to let you guys know that all of the previous pictures that I've done in my storytime episodes are up for sale. You can hit me up here on YouTube or on Instagram if you're interested in buying one of those pieces. Or if you want a commissioned artwork that's completely personal, I can do that too. So please just let me know. Here's the part of the episode where I beg you to like and subscribe to my channel. Don't forget to follow me on Instagram at Emmy's Art Stuff. Otherwise, thank you for watching this week. Hope you like Supernatural and you go out and watch that too. And as always, stay creative.